Book of the week, Becoming a Supple Leopard by Dick. I'll restart that one. Becoming Book of the week, Becoming a Supple Leopard by Dr. Kelly Starrett with Glen Cordoza. Hi, welcome everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist, your coach, to help you transform stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. Listen, this book is so big. I have to hold it with two hands. Certainly one of the bigger books that I've shared with you over the last, this is actually book number 30. So I've been doing this every week for 30 weeks, sharing my books of the week. I hope that you've been able to follow through on at least one of those in 30 weeks. If you've indulged even more than one book, I want to know about it. Let me know in the link below or the comments below, or shoot me an email, just info@jasonbarlowrmt.com. It'd be great to just hear from you and let me know. So this book is large enough that I stumbled with my words to even give you the title and the author. This is written by a physiotherapist, CrossFit coach, CrossFit athlete in the United States, I believe out in San Francisco, Dr. Kelly Starrett. And wow, profound book, Becoming a Supple Leopard. I mean, you can probably get the general gist of it from just the title. It's essentially an encyclopedia of how to attain more suppleness and joint mobility. So especially in the field of work for myself, dealing with chronic pain, acute pain, sports injuries, this is a resource that I recommend to everybody for helping combat, especially chronic pain, or you don't have the range of motion you once had. Now, I should start by saying, go download my book, because mine's only 15 steps, which is great, right? I could have made that book as thick as this book. I just did my book to whet your appetite so that you can indulge in bigger, thicker books if that's really something you're benefiting from, which you should be if you're applying those 15 steps, by the way. But I designed it for your quick solutions, your fast, immediate, some temporary, some permanent solutions that can come from it. But it's the grounds, it's the foundations from which you should be yearning for more information. And by way of more information, come and see me, have some consultation with me, have some private sessions with me. But beyond that, I'm always going to nudge you and push you to read. Oh, look behind me. If you're watching me on video, if you're listening in, behind me right now is all of my books. I haven't got a total for you, but it's a number of books, and that's why I can keep going so far with my book of the week, 30 weeks in. And this book is actually one that there's a new edition now. I'm going to get that new edition. I borrowed this copy from a friend of mine, Becoming a Supple Leopard, and he dives into it all. He will help correct your movement patterns. He will help you understand why it is that you squat the way that you do, why it is that you might feel like you've got a limitation, that you can't challenge yourself to another level. He will cover it all in this book. Now, a caveat to that is this book is written for everybody to read. There's definitely some terminology in it that you're going to go, whoa, what's that mean? But he does a good job of then supporting that scientific terminology, that medical terminology. Because this book definitely, if you're a physical therapist of any nature, chiropractor, massage therapist, if you've got underpinning knowledge, fitness trainers especially, you've got that underpinning knowledge through your degree, through your reading and research and understanding, then you'll just love this material that's in here. The great thing with the way he's designed it is there's lots of great pictures. So even if you're not necessarily understanding the flow of the conversation from the text point of view, the words that just detail the descriptions of the images, you will get incredible results just by following the pictures and the descriptions to those pictures. This book is definitely a book that everybody can use, but I would say it's even more specific to those who currently do CrossFit, because Dr. Kelly is big on CrossFit. He has a CrossFit gym. So this is definitely geared toward a CrossFit athlete. But if you know anything about CrossFit is a very well-rounded fitness regime and program that will prepare you, your body, your mind for whatever endeavors you have outside of the context of a gym workout. So that's where the beauty of this research and application translates across to anybody and everybody, because it's geared towards CrossFit, which CrossFit is geared towards preparing you for doing anything and everything on a daily basis. So that's why this is a great resource for anybody. Again, it is a thicker book, so it's something that takes some chewing time. Like, I've not read it from front to back yet. I'm partway through. I'm about, where am I here? Yeah, I'm probably about 118 pages in of, let's see how many there are in total. We get to 400 at the very back. So we're, 350, 380 pages. So it's a book that you're not going to necessarily just pick it up and go, oh, I'm going to read this on a weekend. I mean, you can if you're a pretty skilled and fast reader, but I am not. I take my sweet time. But what I would highly recommend is go to the areas that, if you've got shoulder injuries going on, okay, go to the shoulder section. And I'm pretty sure just by going to the front. Yeah. So he breaks it down by chapters of movement, of especially CrossFit. He breaks it down into the systems of the body. This is really underpinning knowledge, which is great. Then he goes into the areas. So you could go to area 10, which is the knee. Just go to that section of the book, page 358, boom, center in on your knee and really start to get benefit from, wow, I didn't really understand this, how this connects to this and this influences that. And when I do this, this actually improves. And then slowly but surely go from the knee, then go to the hip, then the ankle, then you can bounce around. And this might be something you do over the course of a year or two. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Bottom line. So book of the week, Becoming a Supple Leopard. I'm going to take my two hands again and hold this book up. It's the ultimate guide to resolving pain, preventing injury, and optimizing athletic performance. And if you wish, you could translate that into the ultimate guide to resolving any type of stress, tension, and pain, preventing injury from arising in the future, and then optimizing longevity and my daily performance. Now, if you're more of an athlete, go with the previous description. If you're not so much of an athlete and you're just, going about your busy normal day, being a parent, going to work, go to commute, doesn't matter. You're still, from my point of view, an athlete, that you do things repeatedly. Athletes are just doing it at a higher level, and some of those athletes are being paid incredibly well. But to me, everybody is an athlete. We have a human body. We're moving that body. We're doing repeated movements and postures. This type of book that supports my book, the 15-Step Playbook for Pain Relief, is a wonderful support to help you really get that underpinning knowledge and awareness and intuition of how to understand your body and balance your body, and specifically the exhaustive methods that you can follow to achieve that. So this is a fantastic book. Any avid gym goer, you gotta have this one. If you're, just a weekend warrior, you gotta have this one. If you're somebody who doesn't like stretching, I had somebody in this morning who doesn't like stretching, read this book, because it might just convince you of the benefits of stretching. And especially by following them and doing the exercises, you'll find you get greater gains. And by those greater gains, you'll just feel compelled. Hey, this is working for me. It's just like having good food. When you have good food, you feel better. You have more energy. You're like, well, you know what? That's probably the way I should go. And you start to convince yourself. And that's what it's all about, right? In life, it's all about you convincing yourself to follow through on the things that are going to support you best for more health, happiness, and vitality. Done. Drop the mic. Thank you very much for joining me. Do get a hold of this book. It is a more costly book. We're up at the $60, $70 range. You might be able to get a used copy, but you shouldn't really, because if somebody's smart, they should keep a hold of this book. Maybe somebody's traded in the first edition and they're going for the second edition. You might be able to get a first edition from a used bookstore nearby to you. Anyway, I'm going to zip it. Thank you for joining me. I've got to go in 50 minutes, England, and play in Scotland. And that's right. England are going to take the win this afternoon. And this is in the Euro Soccer Cup, by the way. I've been in Canada long enough now that I call football soccer, by the way. On that note, let's move on. Center for Muscle Therapy is no longer. My name is Jason Barlow, RMT. And remember, I'm here as your therapist, coach, and I'm here to support you. Remember, all muscles matter, and your muscle health is my #1 priority. And it's time to leave. Farewell. Have a great weekend. And